Guys, we got about 2 more minutes here, and then we're going to get out of here. I wrote this. I wanted to make sure we got to it. I wrote off 4 teams basically at the turn of the calendar. Michigan State, St. Mary's, Gonzaga, and Virginia. Michigan State's made a little bit of a run. They beat Illinois on Saturday. St. Mary's has won about 100 games in a row, and all of them by about 100 points. Gonzaga, the only game that they've lost seemingly in the last month has been to St. Mary's at home, and Virginia was on a nice 8-game winning streak before they slipped up at home against Pitt last night. T.O., out of those 4 teams, are you buying any of them? Are you selling all of them? Where do you stand on I guess those 4?
Is there a bigger, like an easier selection than picking Tom Izzo when it matters at the end of the season? Whenever they showed up to play, I want to say it was Illinois at home. Everybody was like, me included, I was like, man, Illinois is just better. This point blank period, Illinois is just better. And I know it was an 8-point win. It was really more than that. They played well. Guys, look, Michigan State's going to make the tournament. As far as what we're buying them for, it's up for debate. St. Mary's doesn't shoot free throws very well at all. At all. They're not going to hit free throws in clutch time. That worries me. Who are the other ones? Gonzaga. They're a big ball of meh for me. And then who was the other one you mentioned?
Michigan State, Gonzaga, St. Mary's, Virginia.
Virginia was the other one. Glad you guys are listening to how important my words are. So Virginia's good. I actually think that they don't shoot the ball extremely well. That's worrisome. They do defend their nuts off, and they have arguably 2 of the better defenders in the country, in Reese Beekman and Ryan Dunn. Like, they have those 2 guys that can really guard. Dunn elite.
Is a monster, dude. He is a monster. He is ridiculous.
He has completely stopped shooting the basketball on the other end, though. Completely. Like, hasn't even made a 3-point attempt over the last 5 or 6 games. Like, you have to. People were talking about him late lottery in the early 20s ish area. Like, you have to shoot it some.
Well, I mean, the problem with that is, who else are you taking, man? Like, we're now talking about Zach Edey as a potential lottery pick, and I love Zach Edey, but it's a lot there.
Yeah. No argument there. I mean, it's not a great draft, but still, like, you have to shoot it some. Virginia's not a team to play from behind. That worries me a little bit, but I think all of them are 1-win capable teams. I don't think it goes past that.
Fana?
Well, I'm gonna go with the Gales of St. Mary's, because I truly believe that they can be a team that wins multiple games in the NCAA tournament. And I also would just push back on T.O. Michigan State, last year nobody thought that they could make the second weekend, and guess what? They did. And they did because they defended their asses off, and they got out on the break a little bit. Michigan State, 2 of their best wins this year against Baylor and Illinois. In both games, they have gotten over 20 fast break points. They have found a way to turn people over, and they found a way to get out on the loose. How does a team that struggles from the perimeter compensate for that against really good teams? You got to run. Well, the follow-up question is, do you have the personnel to do it with? The answer is yes. And don't look now, but Malik Hall is on a heater. He has scored in double figures in 8 of his last 9 and 10 of his last 12 games. This is more than Tyson Walker right now. Jaden Akins is doing enough. A.J. Hoggard, as much as he frustrates me because he talked quite a bit in the preseason, he showed up in some big spots for his team. They're going to need that. Do I sense a little bit of Michigan State not returning to the level we thought they'd be in the preseason, but maybe going through the motions just to get to the NCAA tournament because you know that that's what matters and you made the second weekend last year? Yes. Yes, I do. And at the end of the day, they have Mr. March as their head coach. But Lex just brought it up in our chat. I'll bring it back to Randy Bennett and St. Mary's. Aiden Mahaney is that dude. He makes them go. He hits big shots. They have efficiency. They play a style that I think can be successful. And defensively, they're damn good. They guard. They're 8th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. They have length. They're going to make you work for what you get, and they're going to get the game to their liking. That's what Coach Bennett does. So when you have an elite guard and you know how to get stops, I am back on the St. Mary's bandwagon. I am.
I'm not on the St. Mary's bandwagon just yet. St. Mary's and Gonzaga, to me, like they've made these runs. They look good in the metrics. I think it was a result of playing in the WCC. Virginia, I can't get on a team where I'm not all the way in on their point guard play, and I'm just not all the way in on their point guard play.
You're not all the way in
State
on Reese Beekman?
not to. You think he can take a game over in March and win you a game, put a team on his back and win you a game? I could see
I
Aiden
don't think
Mahaney
their
doing
offense
it.
allows them to do that. I think he's capable. I don't think their offense allows them to do that.
Yeah, I'm not. Virginia's fine. I think they can win a game. I can't see them doing anything more than that. And I would probably, if they ended up as a 7 seed, I'd probably have them be the team losing to a 10. St. Mary's, like, they're going to be overseeded and going to be a prime upset candidate for me. Gonzaga still has to, like, they might have to get the auto bid to be able to get in. Like, they're not even a surefire tournament team yet. But Michigan State, man, they're old. They got Tom Izzo. They have Tyson Walker and AJ Hoggard, who could both either win you a game or, in AJ Hoggard's case, lose you a game. They're going to end up. This is what's going to end up happening, guys. And I promise you, if we could do a vaulted right now, they're going to end up being a team in the playing game as a 12 seed. They're going to win that playing game. Then they're going to upset the 5. Then they're going to upset the 4, and they're going to be playing in the Sweet 16 against the number 1 seed for the right to go to the Elite 8. That's what's going to happen with Michigan State this year. I'm not going to bet my house on it, but I will bet something on it. Whatever you want to bet on it. That's what's going to end up happening. So listen, this has been the DTF podcast. We had some fun. We talked to UConn Marquette. We reacted live to a firing at a top 20 job in college basketball. I picked Marquette to make the Sweet 16, and we talked about the Blue Duds. It was a rousing podcast today, gentlemen. So for Terrence Oglesby, for John Fanta, if you're still listening to this, please rate, review, subscribe, do all those things that make us happy as podcasters, and we'll see you guys again next week.